beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Friday morning, everybody. Not in a real good mood today. We switched over to 1430 for my show to get some politics involved, not just music, because it is Hot Talk, cool oldies, our country station. Again, Hot Talk, cool killer country. And I just real jerk off. Well, I thought I was playing hearing oldies. If I don't hear oldies next time and I hear that Bob Romanik, I'm going to shut the station off. Well, you idiot, shut it off, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm not going to come to your house and super glue your radio knob to 1190 or 1430. You know, people don't have to bitch. You don't want to listen to something. You don't want to watch something. You don't want to be around somebody. Just don't be around them. Don't listen. Get so many people that want you to change for them. You ever notice that? You got to do it this way. No, you got to do it. This is America, people. Do it the way, it's like Burger Chef or Burger King. Have that burger your way. Live your life your way. Don't worry about some son of a bitch. I don't give a damn if it's your neighbor. You shouldn't do. You do whatever the hell you want, as long as it's legal, as long as it's not bothering anybody. Hey, if you want to go out and pluck every hair out of your head with the tweezers, out of your hair and out of your nose, do it. Don't give a damn what somebody says. Who the hell cares? Everybody wants you to live for them, but they don't want to live for you. So anyway, don't like it, shut it off. You guys, I'm not in the mood to play with any of these stupid son of a bitches anyway. I mean, life's rough enough where you got to have these ignorant bastards trying to tell you what to do. Primarily, the ignorant bastards are the politicians, and we'll get on to that as we always do. Let's take care of our little bit of housekeeping. Then we want to go down to East St. Louis. They're having their march on School District 189. All the proud teachers and staff of School District 189. At 10:30, there will be a parade. I guess it's getting ready to get started now. A parade from the East Side High School, my old alma mater, to the board building at 10th and State Street in East St. Louis. And this ignorant, no-count, good-for-nothing son of a bitch, the Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne. See, these bastards, they don't like me, but they listen all the time because they want to know what I'm going to say, how I'm going to expose them. And I know Claiborne was listening. He told somebody. That no good son of a bitch, Romanik, giving me crap. I'll have to use that word. Giving me crap again. So apparently, I got him off his ass. I haven't got Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, the state representative, off his ass yet. But see, I shouldn't have to get anybody off their asses. If they're an elected official, they should be out there trying to help their constituents. But Claiborne told someone, if the strike is not settled in 2 or 3 weeks, you hear me, people, in 2 or 3 weeks, that he'll get involved. No, you piece of crap, you panty-wearing, your pink panty-wearing piece of political perverted crap. Do it now, Claiborne. Do it now. I'm challenging you. And Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, the state representative for the 114th Legislative District, He's probably up there with his head all up Madigan's ass, wanting to know, hey, white boy Madigan, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? I'm your plantation Negro, and I want to help out Chicago. I don't care about East St. Louis. I don't care about the 114th State Legislative District. I care about you, massa. And if it pisses off the proud black people, it just have to piss you off. But I don't think it does, because the proud black community knows what I'm talking about. They love to be distinguished between themselves, the proud black community, and the plantation Negroes that get elected by the proud black community and then go sell out to the politicians in Springfield, the politicians in Chicago. And that's all Eddie the Gerbil Jackson and the Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne, and I did say Buckwheat Claiborne. These guys don't give a damn about you except Election Day. So I'm challenging both of you guys. Get your asses out there. Support the teachers. And even more than the teachers, support the children. The children of the people that elect you every 2 and 4 years. You'll see Claiborne Election Day, styling and profiling. You'll see Eddie the Gerbil Jackson Election Day, styling and profiling. But see, they've got some committeemen in their hip pocket. Some of the people will vote 2 and 3 times down in East St. Louis. That's got to change, people. Just because Eddie the Gerbil Jackson is black and the Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne is black, that doesn't mean they're going to help you good people out. They don't give a damn. But see, I'm not telling you intelligent people below the hill anything you don't already know. But again, I'm challenging you, Claiborne. I'm challenging you, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. I'm challenging all, the mayor and the city council of East St. Louis. Get out there. Support the students. You don't have to support the teachers, support the students. But see, the teachers go right along with it. They're the ones that educate our students, our children. It's not a game, people. It's not a game. It's bad enough in School District 189. They've got a rough enough road to hoe because they play all politics. But we need to get past politics when it's concerning our children, all of our future generations. And I don't want to be melodramatic about it, but I come up the hard way in the housing projects of East St. Louis. I know what it's like not to have a lot of money, to have people look down on you, to have them call you a piece of crap because you don't have money in your pocket. Are you people nuts? Are you rich bastards nuts? You give a damn about how much money anybody has in their pocket. It's what's in their gut, what's in their heart, what's in their mind. The hell with that green crap in your pocket. But that's what these political people live for. It's all about the money grab. It's all about the money grab. They don't give a damn about the students. They don't give a damn about the community. But I would tell all the good people of East St. Louis, remember this. Next time there's a school board election in School District 189, remember what the school board has done to hurt your students, to hurt your children, to hurt your community. Remember what they have done. They forgot about you now. So don't forget about them next election, because you guys can get rid of the people that are more worried about getting their family and friends jobs than they are educating the people and the students of School District 189. So again, I want to salute all the school teachers, the staff, the service workers for School District 189 and Local 1220 for trying to fight the fight. They've asked me the first part of the week to come down and do a live broadcast, and I will come down and do a live broadcast, anything. And I don't care if it's East St. Louis, Mascoutah, Belleville, anything this radio station can do to expose the culture of corruption all throughout St. Clair County, we'll be there. We're there for you people. We don't give a damn about the politicians. They can all kiss our ass. We've got a caller. Go ahead, let's take this caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, Bob, it's Jerry Nichols.
Hey, Jerry, what's going on, buddy?
I just want to call and clear up a little thing. You know, Mayor Gary Cornwell, he resigned from the Democratic the party, and people think it was me instead of Gary. I just want to put it out there that I didn't resign for trustee. I didn't resign from the committeeman. I just want to make that,
Yep.
clear to everybody out there on the radio. So
Okay, Jerry. I appreciate that. That's Jerry Nichols, the lone wolf in Cahokia. And there's a problem. Jerry came on with Mayor Cornwell a couple days ago, and people always get confused about who's saying what on the radio because they can't see faces. And that's what I always say when I say, hey, this comes from Bob Romanik. Bob Romanik is saying this, not Carl Officer, not Roger Cook, not any other guest. And it's kind of confusing. But what Jerry Nichols is saying, he's still the trustee in Cahokia. He's still the Democratic Precinct Committeeman in Cahokia. It was his friend who he came up with a couple days ago, Gary Cornwell, the ex-mayor of Cahokia, who has denounced the Democratic Party for what it's done, not just to him, but to everybody in Cahokia, all throughout Centerville Township, and all throughout the county of St. Clair. Jerry Nichols, thank you very much for the call. Okay, what are we going to do here? Let's take care of our housekeeping. Then I want to talk about the East St. Louis Police Department. The great guys at the East St. Louis Police Department, they're getting screwed just as much as the union people in 1220, and we'll talk about that momentarily. Belleville, the antique flea auction. You guys ought to go out to the antique flea auction or any of the flea market situations they have at Belle Claire Fairgrounds. A really great facility. It'll be Saturday and Sunday, October the 17th and 18th, and they're going to have antique furniture, stamps, antique baseball cards. It's going to be a great, great showing if you like antiques. Make sure you hit the Belleville Antique Flea Market Saturday, October the 17th, Sunday, October the 18th. It'll start at 9 a.m. and it'll last until 4 p.m. Our O'Fallon Underwater Search and Recovery Team, don't forget, they're having their fundraiser. They're having a raffle. These are the guys that go out whenever there's a recovery in the water. They do things that a lot of us don't really care to do, but has to be done. So they help us whenever they can, so please try to help them. If you have any questions or concerns or want to get involved in supporting the O'Fallon Underwater Search and Recovery Team, you can contact Chris Heatherly at 618-409-8453. The Making Strides of Metro East Breast Cancer Walk. That'll be Saturday, October the 17th at Rock Springs Park in O'Fallon, Illinois. Check-in time is 8 a.m. The walk will begin promptly at 9 a.m. If you can make it out there, please do. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact 618-345-6789. The fish fry, today the 16th? Today is the 16th. Fish fry from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Scottish Rites Temple, located at 1549 Frank Scott Parkway in Belleville, from 4:30 to 7:30. Trivia night. St. Stephen's Men's Club. Tomorrow, Saturday, October the 17th. Doors open at 6:30. Trivia starts at 7. It's located at 901 South Main Street in Caseyville, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Paul Steiger at 618-344-4400. Also, St. Stephen's Men's Club, all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast. That'll be this Sunday, October the 18th, from 8 a.m. to noon. Again, at Vote Hall in Caseyville. Our good friends in Freeburg, the Freeburg Troop 30 Boy Scouts Barbecue, will be held at the Rural Family Medicine parking lot from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. this Saturday. Tomorrow, October the 17th, they're going to serve pork steaks, bratwurst. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Randy Casper, 618-779-6209. Chapter 1255, the American Legion Riders Meat Shoot. This Sunday, October the 18th, at 201 Isler Road in Belleville. It's Veterans Helping Veterans. For any information or concerns, you can contact 538-5445. Last but not least, the free Halloween walk in Mascoutah, Illinois. The great people out of Mascoutah will be held at 212 Fillmore Street. It's at the corner of South Route 4 and Fillmore. They've got a donation box for the Mascoutah Food Pantry. Digger's Haunted Yard. It's in its 9th year. It's an outdoor event open every night from dark to 10 p.m. Later on the weekends. It has wheelchair access, so if you can make it out there, please do. If not, you can call Digger. What a great name for Halloween. You can call Digger at 979-5639. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or our sister station at KZQZ 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. on both KQQZ 1190 AM and KZQZ 1430 AM. And now broadcasting at the stroke of midnight for the graveyard shift, Monday through Friday. I can't find what I need. Bear with me. I want to thank taxpayer. Thank you for the very, very nice letter. And I agree with what you say all the time. And we will get to that information about the Mid-America Airport. We'll get to that at some point in time. Well, everybody ought to be thankful. I can't find on this date, but I guess we won't mess with it. The East St. Louis Fire Department, they just settled some kind of contract. I don't know how good it is for the firemen, but a lot of great guys on the East St. Louis Fire Department. They've somewhat settled their contract. They're going to close down one of the firehouses. They're only going to have 9 guys instead of 12 on a shift, and that's going to be very detrimental at some point in time. But I don't shart the firemen. The firemen are just out there doing their job. I shart the politicians. But now they tell me down in East St. Louis that ignorant, no-count, low-life jerk, Alvin Parks, has just made an announcement and sent out letters. Now, you know, he's a new city manager. After being the mayor for 8-10 years and screwing up the finances, he loses the election, which means he should have been out of play altogether politically. But they make him the city manager. Instead of $50,000 as the mayor with limited authority, he's making $100,000, 100% raise, and he has 10 times the authority that he had as the mayor. Well, that's really great when you lose an election and you come out smelling like a rose. But Parks, you and the political people down there, don't ever think you smell like a rose. You smell like a bag of crap, which you are. But anyway, they're going to lay off 8 police officers. I'm not going to tell you how many police officers that'll leave, because that's not fair for the police officers. And the bums, the criminals, they always want to know how many policemen are out on the street. I believe they still have enough to protect the good people of East St. Louis. But they're going to lay off 8 policemen in that town, and they don't have a whole lot of extra policemen. But they've got a public safety director that Parks put in, the political arm put in, at $80,000, $90,000 a year. Now, they've got a chief of police. Why do they need a public safety director? Take that $80,000 and keep at least 1 policeman on the street. But they're not going to do that. Parks drives around in a brand new Ford, a brand new medium brown Ford with municipal plates on it. And he tells Elliot Davis, well, the people want to see their leaders drive around in new cars. No, they don't, Parks. They want to see their political leaders take care of the community, take care of the policemen and the firemen, so the policemen and the firemen and the teachers can take care of the constituents, can take care of the citizens of East St. Louis. That's what the people of East St. Louis want, Alvin Sugar Britches Parks. They don't give a damn about you styling and profiling in a brand new Ford. What the hell's wrong? Where's Belleville at in all this? Where are the leaders, the county leaders? Are they down there helping the community of East St. Louis get through this teacher strike? Are they down there in East St. Louis helping the policemen get more police officers on the street? Are they down there trying to keep the fire departments open, keeping the fire stations open? Hell no, they're not. But you'll see Kern and Barra Civic and Sprague and these bastards come down and dole out a few dollars come election day. And I think the proud people of East St. Louis, Centerville, Allerton, Cahokia, Washington Park, I think they've found these bastards out. And they're not just white bastards. There's a lot of black bastards, too. There's the black politicians that get elected by the proud black community and go up and sell out to the white boys. And it pisses me off. I'm from East St. Louis. I hate to see that town go down the drain. What a great location, right across the river from St. Louis. Nothing's being developed. But every 4 years, Mark Sweet Cakes Kern will tell you, I'm running for county board chairman, and it's going to be the same as it was. That's the problem, people. It is going to be the same as it was. There's going to be nothing done Nobody gives a damn. They forget about you below the hill, people. Again, not just East St. Louis, Washington Park, Cahokia, Allerton, Centerville, Brooklyn. They give a damn less about you until the election comes up. And then for a month or two, they're scurrying down there. Mark Sweetcakes Kern, that no-count son of a bitch, he'll bring his hairy-ass old lady down. They'll throw $5,000, $10,000 and expect you people to vote for them. But then after you vote for them, you won't see them for another 2 years, another 4 years. Same way with Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. Same way with Senator Claiborne. The same way with the white boys in Belleville. It's always the same people. And it shouldn't be a popularity contest. It shouldn't be buy my vote. You people have to understand the few dollars you're getting, the few little favors you're getting before the election means nothing after the election. That $20 is gone. You're still starving. Your people are starving. Not enough food on the table. But these rotten bastard politicians driving in new cars. Claiborne, new Cadillac. Eddie Jackson, a new white pearly Cadillac. And most of the people that they represent are barely eating. We've got another caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side. Go ahead, caller. He's not there? Okay, let it go. But you policemen in East St. Louis, you guys keep the faith. I was an East St. Louis policeman. It was rough back in the 70s. And I'm sure it's just as bad now. But there's a lot of great police officers. But I say to you, Parks, why are you putting the city in jeopardy? Why are you putting the city in jeopardy? Get rid of that public safety director. And I don't even know the guy. Might be a nice guy. You don't need another PR guy. You've got a chief of police to do the PR work. Don't need a public safety director. Money's short, but you guys are going to go ahead and load it up at the top with your people, your political people. You know that's not right, Parks. And then here's Parks. Says here for the business people, Parks said in his letter that they're going to be a layoff. Parks also said city is making smaller but important savings by reducing expenses. How the hell are you reducing the expenses when you've hired 2 or 3 people at the street department? You put somebody over the TIF, give them a raise. Parks, why don't you lead by example? Alvin Sugar Britches Park, city manager of East St. Louis. Why don't you lead by example? Why don't you take a cut in pay? Everybody else is getting laid off. At least you could take a cut in pay. This is the same Parks again, people. They're the laughing stock of this United States of America. It was on NBC News when it happened. It's been in Associated Press. Here's a mayor who screws up a town for 8, 10, 12 years, loses the election. Actually, they should have ran him out of town on a rail. And he gets rewarded for screwing up the town by making 100% raise, a lot more authority, a brand new car. And he's talking about laying off policemen and firemen who protect the good people of East St. Louis. But Park says that they're going to reduce expenses, and he's working, now listen, to increase tax and fee revenue. This is in the Post-Dispatch, a pretty reputable paper. It's in the Post-Dispatch that Park wants to increase taxes and fee revenues so he and all of his people can have the big salaries, so he can have the $100,000 a year, so he can have the car, so he can have the benefits. People of East St. Louis, you better wise up. You better wise up, because it's not. After 15, 25, 35 years, a corrupt leadership from the top, from Belleville, the God Spragues, the Mark Sweetcakes Kern. If you people in East St. Louis think it's going to get any better, you're crazier than I am. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting at its finest. And we are America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And as always, we're very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. We talk about politicians. Here's a councilman faces murder and drug charges in Indiana. A councilman from East Chicago who's running unopposed in the upcoming election faces murder and drug charges in two separate incidents. only in America. 42-year-old Robert Coop Battle been charged with murder and drug charges, and he's an unopposed councilman from East Chicago. I tell you, they're just about as bad as the people down here in St. Clair County. Not quite, but just about as bad. We talk about tax burdens all the time in Illinois. Illinois is one of the worst tax-based states in the country. Illinois residents pay the second highest effective property tax rate in the nation. People, do you understand me? The second highest property tax rate in the nation. And that comes down from your political leaders. You know, they've got Barrecivic. He's got 15 family members, jobs up there. Sprague's got family all in and out of the courthouse. He's got Princess Patty, his roly-poly old lady, who makes $100,000 a year as the auditor with a high school education. And again, I don't want to short people just because they couldn't get a good education, didn't have the opportunity. I feel for them. But you've heard me 1,000 times. Don't let somebody fly your plane that's not qualified. And Patty Sprague, and I believe she'll be running for auditor again, she's definitely not qualified. But they want to put their family and friends in all these positions. If you could see the inbreeding, and we're going to bring it out at some point in time, if you could see the inbreeding going on in St. Clair County with Barrecivic's uncles, cousins, brothers, nephews, they have different names. Remember Tom Holbrook, Mr. Haney Holbrook, the ex-state representative, the ex-Department of Energy director in Springfield, now the county clerk in St. Clair County. He's got 2 or 3 pensions, people. And his wife wouldn't even use his last name. And, of course, she had a state job, too. I think she just retired. Her and Mr. Haney, Mr. Tom Holbrook, they'll be retiring on about $135,000 a year. And that's not private money. That's public money. That's our money. That's our money that we're going to have to pay him. And I hope he lives to be 300. But we're going to have to pay him $135,000 with a 3% increase every year that he lives. And that's just not Tom, Mr. Haney Holbrook. That's Barrecivic. This ignorant bastard, he's going to run for office again for judge of the 20th Judicial Circuit. This guy is maxed out. He can't make any more money. He's actually losing money by being and getting elected, if he does, judge in 2016. But it's a power play for these son of a bitches. They don't need to make it a career opportunity. Get in, do something for the public, and then get your ass out. George Washington did. Thomas Jefferson did. Poor old Abe, if he hadn't have met that demise that he did, he would have went back into law practice, I'm sure. But it amazes me. It amazes me how these no-count rotten bastards, they want to make it a career. They sit up in their pearly white tires, in their suits and ties, never bust a sweat. They only bust a sweat when they wipe their stinking, nasty asses. And then if they could get somebody on the payroll to do that, they wouldn't even do that. But for the shape Illinois is in, you can thank our state senators, Senator Claiborne, Foghorn, I say buckwheat, Claiborne. Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. You can thank people like that go up to Springfield. To go up to Springfield, and they step and fetch for Madigan, for Cullerton. They don't give a damn about the people of their district, their state senatorial district, their state representative district. They give a damn about getting reelected every 2 years, every 4 years. And it's not right, people. But here in Illinois, Speaker Mike Madigan apparently believes Illinois doesn't have a spending problem. But listen to people. Now, this is so outrageous. The House Speaker, Mike Madigan, for the state of Illinois, who was supported by Senator Claiborne, who was supported more so by Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, the state representative. He's never made a vote against Madigan, the power broker from Chicago. Madigan says the House Speaker, the Democratic House Speaker, apparently believes that Illinois doesn't have a spending problem, which is bull crap. But he says that Illinois residents simply aren't taxed enough. Did you hear that? Everybody. Mike Madigan, who is supported by Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, the state representative from the 114th District, I think they've superglued their asses together and maybe other things. Madigan, along with Claiborne and Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, are telling you that it's not the problem that they have their girlfriends, their wives and girlfriends, their sisters, their daughters. That's not why Illinois is so bad. They can't pay their bills. Not because they've got everyone. Claiborne, I guarantee you, 5 or 6 or 7, 8 friends of his in Springfield that he's given jobs to. But Madigan, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, tell you people it's not a spending problem. And it's in the paper. And I believe it's to be a true article that Madigan, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, the Democratic organization in the state of Illinois, said that residents simply aren't taxed enough. And that's what happens, people, when you put these rotten bastards in. It says as of 2012, Illinois, and I'll have to research this and confirm it, it says Illinois contains 43% of the nation's governmental workers' pension funds. 43% in this whole country. Illinois, with over 2,015 or 2,129 governmental agencies. They have the most numerous of any state in the United States. No, I'm sorry. It funds nearly 7,000 units of government. The most numerous of any state in the United States. That's 2,200 more than the government agencies in Pennsylvania. See, these guys, what it is, and Mayor Officer just walked in, and I'll ask him about this. What it is, they load up. They load up these governmental agencies. Then they load the governmental agencies up with jobs for their supporters, for the people to get out and get them votes. And who pays for it at the end? But people, listen to me. As of 2012, Illinois contained 43% of the nation's governmental workers' pension funds. We're $5-6 billion in pension debt, people. How the hell do you think that we're going to ever get back to par? Everybody's going to have to die tomorrow, and nobody wants death for anybody. But the only way that we'll ever get back to where we should be financially is if everybody on a state pension dies. And we don't want to see that. But we don't want this to continue. It is what it is now. But we can put a stop to it. Mayor Officer, what the hell with these statistics in the state of Illinois and Madigan and Eddie Jackson and Claiborne supporting Madigan, saying that Illinois doesn't have a spending problem. They need to tax all of us more money. If they tax us anymore, we're going to have to move to Russia.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
I don't think we need to move anywhere. I think we need to move these people out of office.
Good point.
There's a reality, and we've been talking about this for years, and one of the reasons that the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition was formed. They can't continue to do this kind of taxing without real representation on the people if the people vote these people out of office. We live in southern Illinois, whether it is here in East St. Louis or Belleville, Fairview Heights, O'Fallon, or the people who live deeper south in Clinton County, Randolph County, Washington County, Madison County. We are being controlled by Chicago. Our representatives in this area do whatever they are told from the party bosses in Chicago. And without getting into too much detail right now, the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition plans on challenging these men and women. And the hard reality is that, no, you didn't read it wrong. We do have that many units of government. You stop and think about from your hometown. You used to have the sanitary district, the park district, the levee district, the library district. You got all these districts, the health district. In East St. Louis, I pay taxes to a park district, health district, that when they were formed over 100 years ago, the St. Clair County did not have a health department. St. Clair County did not have a park district. And my favorite one, the Board of Elections. There was no Board of Elections in St. Clair County. East St. Louis is being overtaxed. Washington Park is overtaxed. Allerton is overtaxed. And the people of St. Clair County are ultimately overtaxed. If you go into the rural areas, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, these are places where they have townships that actually work. In certain incidents in Illinois, you have a township government that is functional and viable and does positive things, but you can't find that same situation in this Metro East area. One of the reasons Belleville eliminated its township. Do you remember when they got that legislation passed earlier? Now, at the end of the day, I just find it appalling. I find it sickening. I find it downright disgusting that the leader of the Democratic Party and the leader of the Illinois House of Representatives will say to the people of Illinois, you are not taxed enough.
Yeah, it's amazing, but that's Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, that's Senator Claiborne, that's all these political people that go up to Springfield, and then they step and fetch for these guys, and they come back down and they lie to their constituents. We're doing all we can do. They're not doing anything. Mayor, real quick, being next mayor of East St. Louis, I think it's egregious for these policemen and firemen, the great job they do, and for Parks, who, number one, has created this problem, his 2 terms as mayor, I guess, his 18 years as mayor. Mm-hmm. Now he's going to lay off policemen. He's got a new car. He lost the election. I was just telling the people, lost the election, and he got rewarded by making 100% more salary, 10 times as much authority, driving a new car, and he's going to talk about laying off policemen. They just hired a public safety director, and he may be a decent guy, don't know him. But why do they need a chief and a public safety director? Why do they need new cars whenever the policemen or firemen are what's needed in East St. Louis?
Only in St. Clair County could one be so rewarded and so gifted and so well endowed that you could get $100,000, a new car, a major pension increase, and then say, well, we're going to lay off policemen and firemen.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And nobody say a word about it.
Yeah, except us. And we're going to continue. And, Mayor, before we take our break, here's Culver. And I don't know if he's one of your favorite people, but they want to cut back on the teacher's salary. They want to take away from the teachers. But this Culver is going to make over $300,000 a year with his car, his expenses, his internet, his telephone, his lunch, or whatever the hell's toilet paper, over $300,000 a year. And they've got the nerve and the audacity to say, hey, teachers, you don't deserve more because we've got it all.
Anyone who believes in America today, let's take with East St. Louis, if you think that teaching the children of East St. Louis is an easy job, I'd like to challenge any of these administrators to get out of their office, go to a classroom, first grade through 12th, and sit down and try to get order and discipline and educate a young man or a young woman today in any of those schools and tell me honestly, these people don't deserve the money that they get. I see public education. I see these young people. I just got to leave my funeral home where there was half a dozen or so there because one of their relatives had passed. And I'm here to tell you, these kids need an education. That's the only way out, or they'll be on welfare for the rest of their life, or they'll be in the prison system for the rest of their life. They'll be in the criminal system. They deserve, and they want an education. That's the crazy thing about this. We've got men and women running our public education who tell you and I, taxpayers, oh, it's all about the kids. If it's all about the kids, then they settle this thing right now.
Right.
If it was all about the kids, then they'd give up the teachers have given up their money. The teachers and the clerks and the persons who work in the offices and stuff, those little people, they're not getting paid. But these big administrators are collecting their money, and they're getting a gross amount more in comparison. And I'm not going to say anything personal about Mr. Culver, but I know this for a fact because I sat with him when I was on the school board. He would not take $175,000. He wouldn't take $190,000. He wouldn't take $200,000. He had to have this $300,000 package, or he was going to go back to Champaign or go back to Springfield. Well, you know, I wasn't crazy about the last superintendent, but at least I can tell you this much. She spent some time in the city. She didn't rape us to the point of getting $200,000, $300,000. I disagree with her because of her loyalty to some other political factions, but at the same time, she had a PhD, and she had a lot more sense and a lot more sensitivity. And I never thought I'd say it, Bob, but I kind of miss her.
Hey, you won't say anything personally about Culver, but I will. I think it's not even Dr. Culver, it's Mr. Culver.
Yeah.
I think you're a political piece of crap for what you're doing to our professional school teachers in School District 189, but more so how you're punishing the students of School District 189. So for that, I'm giving you the award, Mr. Arthur Culver. The Illinois piece of crap of the week goes to you, you no good piece of political crap. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are proud to be the Patriot. Sitting in with me, my good friend Carl Officer just announced that he's the candidate for coroner, the Republican candidate for coroner. And whenever people say Republican, Democrat, that in itself is a piece of crap. You've heard the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition slogan, vote the person, not the party. It doesn't make any difference what ship that you're coming in on. If you're coming in on Santa Maria or the Big Bell of East St. Louis, whatever ship you're coming on, if you're bringing me $1 million winning lottery ticket, I don't give a damn what ship you come on. Just bring the winnings to me. And that's with this Democrat-Republican crap. Don't give a damn what ballot you're on, Democrat or Republican. Let's remember, vote the person, not the party. Mayor, I usually don't get off on national issues, but I see Joe Biden was thinking about running for president on the Democratic side. And now that Hillary Clinton had such a good showing on the debate that he may back off. Now, I want to ask you, you've been around, you've been a public servant for quite a while. Why the hell do people think of 15 minutes of fame on a debate stage, it doesn't define the candidate's entire worth, but it's like no matter what you've done, good or bad, if you screw up one time or if you do real good 15-minute on a debate, then all of a sudden you go up in the polls. How fickle are the voters of this great United States of America?
They have been fooled so many times. But let me tell you something. I watched the debate. I got to take 30 seconds to tell you, I laughed so hard at looking at Lincoln Chafee. You know, the guy, he was sitting, I don't think he knew where, right now, I'm not sure he's looking forward to the next debate as long as they don't ask any questions.
He might thought he was in Disney World.
Because here's a guy that's sitting there going, well, I made that vote, but I didn't know I was green. And I'm going, good guy. And then he says, oh, you're being a little harsh on me. You're running for president of the United States and you're upset because a reporter asked you a question. Mrs. Clinton, Secretary Clinton, Senator Clinton, whatever title you like to use, she had no real challenges. I mean, you got Bernie Sanders who's telling people, I'm a democratic socialist. Well, most people don't understand what that is.
Right.
You're comparing the United States to Denmark. Denmark's got 6 million people. Yeah. You got that many people in New York City alone. So I don't think people understand. Hillary had a field day. Hell, you and I could have looked good on that stage the other night, okay? But the hard reality, I had a dinner meeting last night with a young man that wants to run for president, been running. He's a black guy out of Chicago. Have you ever heard that before? And you know, they didn't give Barack Obama a chance in 2008. And here this guy, and I met with this guy last night. I had dinner with him. His name is Willie Williams. He's a very articulate, very
I met him. Nice guy.
Multi-millionaire. Really clean record, very strong Christian values. He's the kind of Democrat, quite frankly, that I think a lot of people will take a look at. But the Clintons and the Jesse Jacksons of the world and the Al Sharptons won't even let this black guy get in.
Have the opportunity.
Yeah, they won't even give him a chance. Nobody knows his name.
He told us last night that he got thrown, that they physically threw him out.
Won't let him in the room. The Democratic Party won't even let this longtime black Democrat in the room. Now, that's part of that Chicago culture of corruption, which is tied in to his first cousin inbreeding, St. Clair County culture of corruption. But at the end of the day, I do think that the American voters, once they will quit listening to the mainstream media every day, which is sugarcoated. One of the reasons I love coming up here to your radio station, you don't care about what your advertisers give you in terms of money. CBS, MSNBC, ABC, all the rest of them, they're going to do they're not going to say anything that's going to stop their advertisers from putting money in their pocket. The main reason, finally, that Donald Trump, who I've never met, is doing so well. Donald's not taking any money from anybody, so they can't tell him what the heck to do. He's leading everybody. What's his phrase? It's huge. It's really huge. Yeah. You know, I mean, whatever this nut is saying. But at the end of the day, he's resonating with people because he's spending his own money a lot like you do. He's telling the truth a lot like you do. And he's independent a lot like you. And at the end of the day, he doesn't give a damn.
And you know what? Mayor Carl Officer, we'll leave on that note. Hey, everybody have a great weekend. And just remember, people, there can be a change, but it has to start with us. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Come on back Monday, same time, same place. We're going to start, eventually, we're expanding our signal. We're going to start hitting different political areas because 2016 is going to be for everybody, not just St. Clair County. We're moving to Madison County, going out to Clinton County if need be, St. Charles, St. Louis counties, Jefferson County in Missouri. We want to be the voice, the bi-state voice of freedom, and we're going to continue to do that, people. But in the meantime, if you don't like what I say, don't listen. But if you don't listen, you're never going to understand. You don't have to like me. I've told you, I'm not here to make a friend. I'm here to make a difference, and I am going to make a difference. And when they put me 6 foot under, I'll have a smile on my face because I have done something for this great country of mine, and we can all do the same. Let's none of us die, and when we die, people, death is the ultimate. When we die, we can't come back. We can't do something. We can't say, I wish I'd have done this. It's too late. Let's don't wish to do something, people. Let's do it. Let's all get together. Democrats, Republicans, men, women, independent, black and white. Let's get together. And together we can all make a change for a better United States of America, for a better country, and for a better life for all of us. And we can continue to unite so we can expose these rotten, political, parasitical, perverted punks in their pink panties, the pink panty, political, parasitical punks. We can expose them. We can drag them over the political coals of hell, maybe with their high heels and garter belts on, because some of these guys, that's what they should be wearing. And at the end of the day, you know what we got to do. We got to, not one, but all of the political parasitical punks, the pink panty wearing political punks, we have to destroy them to make this country better for all of us. Yes, destroy them politically, of course, not going to jail this weekend for threats. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ.